بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Hi, I'm Autit and welcome to Act and React. Here it's all about diving into the latest content and sharing my best honest reactions and reviews with you from movies, TV shows to viral videos and everything in between. I'll be breaking it all down for you. So sit back, hit that subscribe button and let's get into today's reaction. And today we have got a video from again from There Is No Clash. This is the 10th video in the series, which is titled as How to See the Seventh Heaven, and it has over 470,000 views. So without delaying anymore, let's get on with the video.
When you look into the night sky, you look back in time. But how far back in time can you see? Could you see with a big enough telescope the first stars and galaxies? And could you see the light from the great flash of the Big Bang itself? As we look out, we look back in time. We cannot look infinitely far out, since sooner or later we will see the Big Bang. The universe started from an extremely hot and dense era. As we go backwards in time, the universe gets progressively younger, hotter and denser. But how did the cosmos go from extremely hot and dense to being filled with the multitude of stars and galaxies that dominate the night sky today? The Big Bang Theory tells us that the history of the universe's creation is a history of space eras. Each era in space lasted for a specific period and played a specific role in the formation of the universe after the Big Bang. For example, there was an era where light and matter are formed,
So
an
it
era
has
where light
already
and matter
7
are coupled, an era where light and matter
distinct
separate,
eras
and
or
an era
ages.
where atoms start feeling the gravity of a cosmic web of dark matter. An era where first stars start to form, a reionization era, and so on, until the era of the many stars and galaxies that exist today. Amazingly, even though each of the past eras is considered a stage in a sequence of events that led to the creation of the universe, the evidence of each era still endures, and scientists and astrologers can still see each of them. In an article written for Space.com on March
The
the
first
17th,
light in the
2014,
universe.
entitled Cosmic Inflation, How It Gave the Universe the Ultimate Kickstart by Carl Tate, there is a very interesting infographic that summarizes the Big Bang space era. It's a picture of a man standing over planet Earth and looking towards space. A caption over the image reads, "Looking out in space and back in time." The photo explains that your eyes can see back very far in time to the degree that you might see the great flash of the Big Bang itself. But to reach this farthest point, your eyes must first pass 7 eras that took place over the past 13.7 billion years. These 7 eras are the solar system era,
I
the
don't
galaxies
think
era,
there
the
is a
proto-galaxies era,
telescope
a
strong enough to
reionization
see
era,
the Big
the
Bang.
first stars era, then the
It's an
Dark Ages era,
assumption up
until you
until
reach
now.
the great flash era of the Big Bang itself. Each era represents an event that took place during the history of our universe. The Big Bang caused the universe, and thus the galaxies in it, to expand such that most galaxies are moving away from each other. The most distant, and thus the youngest galaxies, are moving away at a very fast speed. Because of the time it takes light to travel, the further away we look, the further back in time we are looking. The further away we look, the younger things are. In fact, as we look farther and further away, we've found galaxies that go back as far as when the universe was less than 1 billion years old, just a few % of its current age.
See, there is
This
1 billion
illustration
years,
compares various telescopes
but
and
not
how far back
0
they're able
years.
to see.
So
Recently,
we
NASA
cannot
announced
go
the
that
launch
far
of the
back
Webb
to see
telescope
the
as a successor to
Big
NASA's
Bang.
iconic Hubble Space Telescope. The Webb telescope has a much bigger mirror than the Hubble. This larger light collecting area means that the Webb can peer farther back in time than the Hubble is capable of doing. In other words, the Hubble telescope can see the equivalent of toddler galaxies, and the Webb telescope will be able to see baby galaxies. Remarkably, long before NASA's Webb or Hubble telescopes that could peer into the mysterious night sky, the Holy Quran told us that the history of creation is a history of 7 space eras, each of which took place in a specific order mandated by God in the process of the universe's creation. It's worth noting that at the time of the revelation of the Quran, the word space
Yeah,
was not
I
known.
agree with
God
that.
used
The
the word heaven
term
to
space
refer
was
to what
not
lies
there,
above
so
the earth.
heaven was
So in the
referred
Quranic
as the
verses we're going to
space.
mention now, the word heaven is referring to
And
what we call
Jannah
space.
is called
Just
paradise.
as the
So
Big Bang
heaven
Theory
and
tells
paradise
us
are
that
two
the history
different
of the
things.
universe's creation is a history of space eras, with each era playing a specific role in the formation of our current universe for a specific period of time, the Holy Quran narrates
Again,
exactly
Surah
that in chapter
Fusilat,
41,
chapter
verse
41,
12.
verse
The Holy
12,
Quran
10 to
tells us
12,
that
I
during
think,
the process of the
that
universe's
gives a
creation,
detailed
God
description
completed the
about
heavens
how
as
the
7
universe was
heavens, and he
formed.
made in each heaven its affair. What's even more interesting is that at the end of that verse, the Holy Quran says that God adorns the nearest heaven with lamps. The term lamps here refers to the moon and sun, and now science has proved that the solar system is really in the nearest space era to Earth, as light travels from it to Earth in only 14 hours. In another verse, verse 6, chapter 37, the Quran says, "Indeed, we have adorned the nearest heaven
Chapter
with an adornment of
37,
planets,"
verse 6,
reaffirming
it's
again
Surah
that the planets
Safat.
of the solar system are in the nearest space era to Earth. Now, assuming that the current age of the universe is about 13.7 billion years, the timeline of the universe indicates that planet Earth was formed when the universe was about 9.15 billion years old, 2/3 of its current age. The timeline of the universe also indicates that around this time there was a transition from decelerating to accelerating expansion in space. This accelerated expansion prevented any more inflationary structures from entering the horizon and prevented new gravitationally bound structures from forming. This exactly matches the Quranic timeline of the universe mentioned in chapter 41, verses 10
Yeah,
to
Surah
12.
Fusilat, 10 to
In these
12.
verses, the Holy Quran tells us that the earth was formed in 4 days out of a total of 6 days,
I think we
namely when the
covered this
universe was
one
2/3 of
in the
its age.
previous video,
Then the
in the
verses
cosmic
continue to
calendar
tell us
one,
that after Earth had been
and
formed, the heavens,
before
what we
the
now
Big
call
Bang
space,
in
continued to
Quran.
increase in size, what we now call accelerating expansion. In 4 days, he made in the earth what anchors from high above it, and put barak in it, and equally measured out sustenance of its
Again, just to be
dwellers,
clear, those
those
are
who
not
ask.
days
Then
as
he
in
directed
calendar
himself
days.
to the
Those
heaven
are
while it was smoke.
huge period of
Then
time.
verse 12 says, "And he completed them as 7 heavens within 2 days, and he made in each heaven its affair, and adorned the nearest heaven with lamps." In his book, The Dragons of Eden in 1977, Carl Sagan popularized
Yeah,
the
see,
idea
we
of the cosmic calendar,
covered this
which
one
is a
in
way
the
to
last video.
visualize the history and
Cosmic calendar
chronology
in
of the
Quran,
universe,
where
scaling
Carl
its
Sagan
current age of
compressed the age of
13.7
universe
billion years
in
down into 1 year to
the
help
whole
us
calendar
normal
year, 365 days,
non-physicists better
and
understand
Quran
it. God
compressed
Almighty
it
has done
to
the
a
same
single week.
thing in the Holy Quran, condensing
Not
the
6 days,
universe's
7 days
age
the
in
judgment
6
day.
days. Moreover, although we know that the Earth is round, it's actually more like a bumpy spheroid, NASA has determined the geometry of the universe to be nearly flat. And God tells us in the Holy Quran that he completed the creation of the space's 7 eras in a flat shape. In chapter 2, verse 29, the Holy Quran states,
Al-Baqarah,
"It is
the
he
cow.
who created for you all that is in the earth, and then he directed himself to the heaven. So he completed the 7 heavens in a flat shape, and he knows all things." Interestingly enough, the Holy Quran also references what modern physicists now refer to as the cosmological principle. The cosmological principle is the notion that the spatial distribution of matter in the universe is homogeneous and isotropic when viewed on a large enough scale. In simpler terms, this principle is telling us that the universe is uniform, and thanks to today's telescopes, we can now observe the uniformity of the universe by looking out and back in time through the different space eras. Now, would you believe that the Holy Quran told us 1400 years ago that we can observe this uniformity by doing the same exercise of looking through space eras, when it stated, "Who created 7 heavens one upon another, you will see no non-uniformity in the Merciful One's creation. Look again, can you see any flaw?" This uniformity among the universe's distant regions led physicists to come to an important conclusion in the Big Bang
means
theory,
heaven,
that these
actually,
distant regions of the universe
Arabic.
we see now must have been in contact with each other in the past prior to cosmic inflation. This again is consistent with what the Holy Quran revealed 1400 years ago, when it stated, "Have those who disbelieve not considered that both of the heavens and the earth, each of them, was as one united piece, and we separated each of them and made from water every living thing? Then will they not believe?" Think about this for a moment. The Holy Quran is telling us that the heavens, or the space eras as we now call them, were one united piece, and then God separated them, just as science now asserts that the distant eras of the universe we see now must have been in contact with each other prior to the Big Bang, and then, thanks to cosmic inflation, became widely separated eras. But it doesn't end there. The verse is also telling us that planet Earth as well was as one united piece, and then God separated it, another consistent
there is
fact
a verse
in science.
called, "Do not
The
let
young
the
Earth
unbelievers
was a
see
rock
the heavens
with
and
the
the
same
earth were joined
composition on its
together,
surface
and we
as in its
smashed them
inner
asunder."
layers. Then the Earth went through a separation process called planetary differentiation, since it was formed 4.5 billion years ago. This differentiation is separating Earth into multiple layers based on their density, meaning that the Earth's interior is zoned by density, with the heaviest material residing at the center, the core, and the lighter stuff floating about at the surface, the crust. One verse of the Holy Quran, two incredible scientific facts confirmed.
Okay, so that was today's video. 7 heavens in Quran and in scientific matter, I don't think they relate quite much, because in my view that someday there will be another theory which will divide these eras in 8 ages, 10 ages, 12 ages, who knows. But Quran, since it's completed, it has already mentioned that there are 7 heavens. So if science decides to divide these eras in 12 parts, does that mean we will have 12 heavens now? No. I think comparing them is okay, but do not relate them, as in don't take them as fact to fact, comparing the scientific ages and Quran heaven theory. I really like these videos as they delve into the scientific part in relation with Quran, and they describe them very easily and easy to understand. But as you know, I am not that scientifically, I'm not a physicist or a cosmologist, so I think Neil deGrasse Tyson would really enjoy these videos, in my view. He is my favorite astrophysicist, and I was very much influenced by him during my teen years. So I think these videos are a good comparison to, you can say, understanding science in comparison with the Quran, and generalizing a relation among them, but don't take it as a fact. For my Muslim brothers and sisters, I am telling them that do not get too excited over these facts, and science can be wrong. Okay, science can be wrong, because once we believe the earth was the center of the universe, then we came to know that then we believed what the sun was stationary, and all the planets move around it. And even in 1999, 2004, early 2000s, it was believed, and we had it in our textbook, that the sun is stationary. But Quran confirmed it 1400 years ago, that the sun revolves. Sun and moon have their own orbit, which they revolves around. But so that's why I'm saying that do not take this scientific fact as in fact, because they can be proven wrong or differentiated in 50 years, 100 years, 500 years. But Quran is correct and authentic for us, and in my point of view, science haven't reached up to it yet, because there are a lot of things, phenomena that are described in Quran that science has no clue about or has no uh, idea of describing it, such as life after death, angels, judgment day, paradise, heaven, hell. I am not intend to inclined to say heaven as in paradise, because heaven, as we can see here, it was referred as the space because there was no term for it in 1400 years ago. So this video was quite compelling in regards to going back as far as the Big Bang and dividing all these time periods in 7 eras. Also, there was a thing that in the video that the nearest heavens are adorned with lights, and it talked about that only the galaxies around us are have solar systems that which um, different galaxies in different eras far from us don't have. So that was quite convincing and quite interesting in regards that I have no clue that the galaxies prior to us or from different eras didn't have solar systems. So yeah, this video is a thumbs up, and thank you for everyone who was patient enough to stay here with me for long. And thank you very much. If you like the video, do give a like and subscribe to the channel. And wishing everyone a very happy new year. Pray that 2025 is better for you than 2024. So thank you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah khairan.